Now, we're live. Yes, live from Jay's place. And we're talking barbershop talk. Yes, barbershop talk, where nothing is off limits and everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table.
Barbershop talk.
Come on, everybody. We're here at Jay's place.
Barbershop.
We're talking barbershop talk.
Barbershop talk.
Barbershop talk.
At Jay's place.
Barbershop talk. Where nothing's off limits.
Barbershop talk.
Barbershop talk.
Barbershop talk.
Barbershop talk.
Barbershop talk.
Barbershop talk.
At Jay's place. Barbershop talk.
Everything's on the table.
Barbershop Talk Live here at Jay's Place Barbershop, 1927 Olive Road. We are here. We are live. I am here. You are there. This Wednesday, let's have a good conversation with Barbershop Talk Live. Remember, we're just going to have a good old-fashioned conversation. So thank the good Lord that you're here. I'm here. We're going to have a good conversation. Barbershop Talk Live is every Wednesday live right here on Barbershop Talk Live Facebook page, also on YouTube. So tune in. Share it with your friends. Also, if you want to give us a question, you got a question on your mind, give us a call at 706-426-1533. Again, that's 706-426-1533. That's our call-in live line. But before we get started with our conversation, I want to give a special shout-out to our supporters, people behind the scenes put this show together to keep this show going. Special shout-out to my good friend, Demetrius Johnson. She has a company called Beverly's Body Butter. Whip, Senate, Shea Butter. Give her a call at 706-564-5335. Again, that's Whip, Senate, Shea Butter. Demetrius Johnson. The phone number again is 706-533-5335. Mint, Tropical Punch, Coconut, Island Paradise, a lot of different flavors. What the Shea Butter does for you is good for your skin, good for your hair, and also good for pain. Tell the Barbershop Talk Live, John Milton told you to give her a call. You get a better deal than the one you get at the store. Again, also give her a call. I got a good friend that has a company called Pond Maintenance. Pond Maintenance is right here in Augusta, Georgia. What did he do? Demolition, tree removal, pond maintenance, and also cut your grass. Give him a call. His name is Alan Odom at 706-294-8493. Again, that's 706-294-8493. Pond maintenance right here in Augusta, Georgia. Tell him John Milton from Barbershop Talk Live. Say, call him. Also, if you need a car, new, used, old, just want to pull around the street, give him a good friend, Johnny Royal, a call at Miracle Infinity of Augusta, 3300 Washington Road. The phone number is 706-922-6500. Again, that's 706-922-6500. Johnny Royal, Miracle Infinity of Augusta. If you can't get in touch with Johnny, give him a good friend and that doctor a call. You also tell him that John Milton from Barbershop Talk Live say, call me. Get a good deal. Again, that's Miracle Infinity of Augusta, Georgia, right here on 3300 Washington Road. Listen, if you haven't heard about it, shame on you. But what we're putting together tomorrow is our first of many Barbershop Hymns and Praise. What did I say? I say Barbershop Hymns and Praise. What we're doing, we're going to sing some of the old school hymns that we used to do back in the days in the old country churches where the deacons get up and pray and sing those hymns. So tomorrow, if you're not doing anything, I urge you, I plead you, I want you to tune in, Barbershop Talk Live, and also on YouTube, our first edition of Barbershop Hymns and Praise. I might sing a song. You never know. But just in case you want to get a special prayer request, give that number also a call at 706-426-1533. Again, that's 706-426-1533. Again, it's Barbershop Hymns and Praise tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Tune in. You got a special song? Give us a call. You got a special prayer? Give us a call. Barbershop Hymns and Praise. But for now, we got a special conversation we're going to have with a guy I've been trying to get here for a long time, but I got him. You got him. We're going to have a good old conversation. But as I always tell you, Barbershop Talk is live. If you got a special question, you got a special concern, no question is off limits. So listen, without further ado, I'm going to introduce him to you. I'm introducing to me, Barbershop Talk Live World. Listen, I got my special good friend here. What's up, man? Hawthorn Welcher.
John J. What's up with you, brother?
You good, man?
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here.
Listen, don't fool me now.
But I'm glad I'm here on Wednesday and not Thursday, because see, some people tune in, they thought they was talking about Hawthorn Senior.
Senior.
You know, Junior gonna come on Wednesday.
Oh, Junior's in the house on Wednesday.
I can't come on with the praise and worship.
Hey, we're gonna
praise and worship and singing. I'm gonna stick to the Wednesday, not Thursday, my brother.
Night.
So happy and blessed to be here. No place I'd rather be here on Hump Day.
There you go. There you go. God dog, it's gonna be a good old conversation.
Yes, sir. I'm
Barbershop Talk Live World. Listen, if you got a special question, a special comments for our special guest, give him a call at 706-426-1533 or put the question on the screen. We'll be sure to answer any and all of your questions. Hawthorn, as I said before, it's good to see you, man.
Man, John, I tell you, I'm just blessed. Just blessed, and in my opinion, I'm just really trying to keep pace. Just trying to, hopefully we can get into a lot of different things. And I think one of the biggest things is just really understanding purpose in life and understanding the fact of, feet made to conquer, but we're going to have hurdles every day. So let's get into some of these hurdles and being sure that we got a feet that can keep pace.
Okay, well, listen now, I don't know if you had a chance because I know your schedule is crazy. Your attention is needed all over the CSRA, and your appearance is always over the place. So that being said, I don't know if you had a chance with your crazy schedule just to look at Barbershop Talk Live on Wednesday, 6 o'clock. But if you didn't, what we do when I bring on these guests, before the guests get into what I call the hot seat, I do a little Googling.
Oh, okay.
I do a little Googling.
Okay.
So sometimes the streets can talk. The streets can, the streets can make you or break you. But sometimes I do my little Googling. And when I get to Googling, I say, okay, the streets didn't tell me that. The streets didn't tell me all this now. So when I get to Google, I learn a little more about the guests that coming on. So that being said, I know about you. I see you almost every Sunday.
That's right.
But I know about you. So now for the ones that don't know about you, can you look into that camera and tell the Barbershop Talk Live world who is Hawthorn Welcher?
Well, the first thing is Pastor Creekman. He said almost every Sunday. So that means he's trying to infer that. I mean skip every now and then, but I'm going to say that he sees me every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
We gonna move forward with that. So, I'm a homeboy. So, let's say we in the barbershop, man. We relaxed a little bit. We gonna talk. And, so the first thing I thought about a lot of different things. I started talking about, appearance and what to put on and those things. And I really wanted to, people see me a lot of times in tailor-mades and things like that, skinny pants, skinny pants, those type things. But I wanted to really just sort of come out of that, come out the bow tie and come out the suit jacket and just say, hey, I like to wear sweatpants and jeans and those things as well. So just want to be sure that everybody understands that, Hawthorn Welcher is housing and community development, but I'm also a community servant in other ways. So I'm definitely born and raised Augusta, Georgia, greatest high school ever made. That high school, 910 Russell Street, known as Richmond Academy.
Well, now before you go any further, I was surprised and I was looking for somebody else. So that being said, and when you said just a minute ago about the sweatsuits and the sneakers, I'm like, well, where's Hawthorn at? Because somebody say, well, he's at the front door. I said, no, he ain't out there. I don't know. He on the way. So when I saw, I was like, wait, this ain't the Hawthorn. So can the real Hawthorn Welcher please stand up?
Yeah, this it. This it. This is me, and I. So before we go, one of the sayings I say, people may steal it, whatever, from earrings to cufflinks. So that's just one of the things I'm all about. Morehouse College taught me a lot of things. So born and raised Augusta, Georgia, went to Morehouse College, matriculated there, finance degree. But one of the things that Morehouse taught me was the fact. So when I only had 2 scholarships, John. I thought I was a pretty good basketball player, right?
Oh, okay.
I'll
Google that too.
But I'm 5. I'm gonna say 5'11". Now I'm 6'1" in the program.
Right. On paper.
On paper. But I was 5'10", but I played shooting guard. So when I got to college, they moved me to the point. That just I ain't Trevor Welcher. That just wasn't my thing. So understanding that. I played basketball for a couple of years, but I never really wanted to go to Morehouse at first because I said, I don't want to be honest with you. I said, I don't want to go to Morehouse with all the geeks and the nerds. But when I got there, it was totally different. What it was all about diversification, and everybody was in their own lane and everybody was competing to be great in other things, whether it was sport, whether it was academia, whether it was religion, whatever the case may be. But you got 3,000 brothers, African Americans, all quote unquote trying to get it. We was trying to get the bag back in the 90s. So understanding that, really what it taught me was that it didn't necessarily really have anything to do with your ensemble and what you had on, but it was pretty much, your mind and the matriculation and how you articulate it. That's really what it was all about. So I got another saying. People are going to take this. We need to sort of put some copywriting on these things. But you can't have on a $400 ensemble with a 40-cent mouth. And that's one of the things that Morehouse College taught me. Now, one of the things some of the brothers, out there and just people out there, now I'm going to tell you, people will stereotype you. They will stereotype you when you put your hat on back. I wear my earrings, I wear my tattoos and those things. So that comes along with it. But when you open your mouth, make sure that your mouth is well equipped to be able to erase everything off that negative chalkboard.
Right. That's part of the streets talking about you.
That's it.
That's part of the streets.
That's it.
And not know who that person really is. Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, and I had a chance. I went to Payne College.
Yes, sir.
Good time.
PC?
PC in the house one time. And now, the only thing I didn't like about PC, I didn't graduate.
Okay.
But I got a PhD. I got a PhD in partying. I'm telling you, I was a certified party. Man, look at him. Highest level of partying you can get. I got it. The certificate on the wall, plaque on the wall, but I didn't finish.
Platinum, yes,
Platinum,
sir.
I just didn't finish. I got caught up in all the hoopla and the hype and all that kind of stuff. But I enjoyed my stay there. I learned a lot, how to survive. As you saying, you learned a lot about how to survive. You got to put some stuff in your head and not run around acting like a fool and waste my mom money.
That's right.
That's what I did. So, but, that was then, this is now. I enjoyed myself, and college life was a great life to have if you get a chance to experience it.
Oh, yeah.
For those one that did experience college life, I know you had a good time.
Yes, sir.
Whether you finish or not.
Yeah, you say you certified, right?
I'm certified.
So my mama closed your ears. I'm a certified freakniker as well.
Oh, nice.
So 6 years strong. Right. Six years strong. We just thank God. We thank God, quote unquote, that we made it through. No social media and those things. Not that I was that bad. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, it's just different
time. I'm
just
saying, just different time.
Just different time.
We thank God that we really made it through, and we're pioneers in the city. We're able to lead by example based on some of the mistakes and things that we made. We just real. I just want to be real about that. There's some mistakes that's been made along the way.
We made it.
They haven't been detrimental, but there have been some mistakes made. So we're better of it now. I don't hide behind it. And, these boys and these young men, they need us.
They definitely
and
do.
We're going to stand in the stead for them.
They definitely do. Again, CSOE Barbershop Talk Live World, if you got a special comment for our special guest or a question, give us a call at 706-426-1533. You got a question for myself, give us a call again at 706-426-1533. Remember, no question is off the table. We answer any and all questions. Hawthorn, now, I don't know if you do like I do, so sometimes I get an itch.
Yes.
I get an itch,
yes.
and when the itch I get, sometimes I just want to play a number.
Yeah.
I just want to, on my way home, I stop by the convenience store, just see can I, my number hit. So sometimes I play my number hit, my number don't hit, but I'll be trying to get the numbers. I try to get the numbers. So what I want to do now, let me show you something now. These questions come from the Barbershop Talk Live World.
Okay.
So there's a question. I'm going to give you question number one. Okay. So based on me trying to get the itch and hit the number, I'm gonna give you a number.
Okay.
So I want to see what these four numbers mean to you.
Okay.
It's just four.
Okay.
4 numbers.
Okay.
Because again, I try to hit these numbers.
Okay.
Sometimes I hit, sometimes I don't.
Okay.
So 4 numbers I'm gonna give you, and tell me what these 4 numbers mean to you.
Okay.
1434 Poplar Street.
How
the number? What those numbers mean? I'll be trying to hit the number.
Man, let me tell you.
1434.
Let me tell you, I can get that to you in a lot of ways.
Okay.
So let's play a little game with the people out there. I'm gonna say red carpet.
Red carpet. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna say big chair.
Okay. Big chair.
I'm gonna say upstairs balcony you can't see.
Okay.
I'm gonna also say baptism Sunday. You might want to wear your raincoat because when the person goes down, you gonna get wet too.
Get wet too. Okay.
Also gonna say getting paid $8 a Sunday for playing piano at Sunday school. Okay. Y'all owe me some money, Beulah Grove.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But deeper than those things, man. When you start talking about 14, that's days of grace. It is showing the way. Shout out just to Reverend Davis, right? Pastor Davis, 30 plus years. He took that chance. He took that chance. I remember back in the day when we started talking about, it was all about the buildings then, and Mount Calvary was like the first ones to do it. We was like, we want one of those big sanctuaries. And Reverend Davis just sort of stayed in that stead. And then basically what he did was, his whole mindset was he wanted to create a community at that time back in the hood. And yep, I can call it a hood because that's my baby. That whole Laney Walker Bethlehem, that is my baby today, and hopefully we'll get into that. So really understanding that, he said, no, I want to create a campus right here. I'm not going to move this church out to other counties and those things. And as you see, we just better of it.
Right. So it's, 1434.
1434, man. Beulah Grove Baptist Church shall always be.
It's been a staple for the community for a long time.
It has. It's been a staple, and it showed the way. And, those things that Dr. Davis did when he came out the pulpit. I remember when he was riding around in that, it was the Grand Am. Remember, it was that Grand Am and, holes in his shoes and soles and all that type thing. But, community, I am who I am because of that. And then the benefit for me when you start talking about Billy Grove Baptist Church and all its subsidiaries, of course, the resource center and the health center and just pretty much the housing and the affordable housing and all those type things, is that was one of the reasons I ever wanted to come back, to Augusta. I tell you this, I had a couple of job offers when I graduated from Morehouse. I had 2 or 3. I had one with Sears Roebuck Company in Florida. I had one with Burlington Northern Santa Fe Train Company out in Texas. And I had one with the Trade Center, Bank of America. But, so I'm glad.
Okay.
Thank God I didn't take that one.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be having this conversation today. We really would not. But, Trevor kind of wanted to come back home with him basketball wise. Trevor was a hard head, man.
He's watching.
Trevor was different. So I just wanted to kind of keep my arms of brotherly love around him and help him matriculate from that standpoint. But just seeing how Reverend Davis sort of, with the naysayers back in the day, was able to sort of transform community. I said, I want to be a part of something great. And at that time, I wasn't in charge of anything, but be doggone now, just understanding the fact that how hard he worked, we cannot let that be in vain.
It was a lot of work behind the scenes. Stuff
that
we didn't see.
No, we didn't see that. We didn't see it and we didn't understand it. When Mr. Auburn and all them, Deacon Howard, and, now keeping that, and the church used to get out at 1.
At 1.
Nah.
When the game about to come on.
When the game about to come on, but they count money to 3. We needed every penny back then. We don't need all this electronic. Well, none of that back then. They counting every down to the penny.
To the penny. I mean, that was back in the days.
You remember that, right?
I remember that. Because I've been in Billy Grove since I've been in Augusta.
Now, you remember when you sneak out, too? Now, go to the store and get some candy and come on back.
I remember them days. I remember all those days. I remember, like I say, when it was just that one building. And
that's right.
You and them fanning yourself because there's so many folks in there. It was so hot up in them.
Yeah, it was a health hazard.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I remember them days.
Yeah.
But now I'm still trying to hit the number. I'm still trying to hit the number. But again, when I go home, I'm trying to hit the number. So that being said, I got some more numbers.
Okay.
See, the first number I gave you was 4 numbers.
Yeah.
And you told me what those 4 numbers mean to you.
Yes.
And I believe that because, again, numbers, signs, symbols, everything has a certain meaning to certain people, whether it's a building or street address or whatever. So I got 3 more numbers. Okay. Can I give you some more numbers?
Yeah, I'm scared, but come on.
All right. 910 Russell Street. What those 3 numbers mean to you? 910 Russell Street. So you told me what 1434 meant to you. Now tell me what 910 mean to you. I'm just throwing out numbers.
Well, you did your homework.
Listen, CSR Barbershop Talk Live. Remember, we are live. Anything can, and we're helping on Barbershop Talk Live. I just want to know what those numbers mean to you.
This guy, man, get this guy a deal. Like, honestly, can we get him on a major network? Honestly, for real. So
it's just numbers.
So 910 for me, Academy of Richmond County, Richmond Academy, and so I came from Davidson. So one of the things that I will say is that I truly believe, first of all, I'm a Richmond County product. I'm going to always be a Richmond County product. I stay in Richmond County. Yeah, I stay in Grovetown for somebody who going to call and look up, but it's on the Richmond County side.
They're going to Google it now.
Okay, it's on the Richmond County side. Believe that. But the thing about it is, so I came from Davidson. I feel like Davidson, went to Davidson from 5th through 8th grade. I felt like Davidson did give me a foundation of how to study and stay ahead. So when I went to Richmond Academy, because back then, of course, your magnet schools didn't have sports. So I went to Richmond Academy in ninth grade. I thought it was like a zoo. I'm like, wow. So people talk back to the teachers?
Okay.
So you telling me somebody just going to walk out of class?
Like it ain't there.
When we was at Davidson, we used to cry if we got detention. No, that wasn't happening at public school. But for me, I think everybody needs both. I think you need both. Davidson gave me the academia piece, but from a social skill perspective, I had to get that at that public school. I wouldn't have got that. No, it's no disrespect. It's all the same in some aspect. But I think that gave me an opportunity really to sort of grow up. The whole locker thing. They don't really care about the fact you got 7 minutes and you're on the first floor. You got to get all the way to the vocation. Nobody cares about that. So it's a whole growth process. But thank God, for some of those bigger brothers. Thank God for, Don Brock from a basketball perspective, Tim Spivey from a baseball perspective, who wrapped their arms around and said, hey, you got to go get it if you want it. And I think more than anything, what we learned from a basketball standpoint, we used to run from Richmond Academy, literally up to Augusta University every day. Not straight up walking away. You know, then you come back and then you have to run the track. Then you practice. So, you know, there were a lot of things that just sort of was instilled in us, you know, at that 9, 10. And but for me, the biggest thing was being able to matriculate and grow up quickly and understanding the fact that people don't care. If you don't care, people don't care. How to watch your own back and take responsibility at the end of the day. 910 Russell Street.
910. So that's what those numbers mean to you.
Yeah, but that's the last time I ever wore purple and gold in my life.
Okay. So again, 1434 means what that to you, and 910 means that to you too also.
Yep.
So that's why, you know, I like to play with those numbers. And we just had a good conversation about those numbers.
We did.
So now listen, now CSRA Barbershop Talk Live World, we had a conversation before we got onto the TV screen, before we went live. So I just want to share a little bit of the conversation we had before we went live. So there was a conversation where it's supposed to have been 3 chairs here. It should have been 3 chairs. So it's supposed to be him, his dad, and myself. You know, but sometimes stuff beyond our control, circumstances won't allow us to do what we wanted to do. So forgive us for that. So in his absence, you know, he wouldn't be able to make it. So I just want to put that out to you. But also, as you know, we are live.
Yes.
So by that being live, stuff always happen unexpected.
That's right.
So I did some more Googling, and I talked to some folks on the street. So I got your dad's number. I got his phone number.
Okay.
So when you pulled up to come in and kind of settle down, I called him.
Okay.
And I say, sir, are you going to still be able to make it? He said, I'm on the way. So
no.
He Mr. Welcher, you can come on in right now. Come on in. Open the door.
What?
That just Barbershop Talk Live. We're just playing with you.
Man, come on. Come on. Really? Man, it ain't April, man. It's not April 1st,
again,
man.
We are live at Barbershop Talk Live. Anything can we have. That's why you have to be ready. You
got to be ready. You got to be ready. You got me. I'm going to have to get you back, though.
That was a good one.
That was a real good
That
one.
was a good one. So.
Got my mouth open. Like.
But I know he's watching. I believe he's watching. I believe he's watching. So again, Barbershop Talk Live World, if you got a question for our special guest, Hawthorn Welcher Jr., give us a call at 706-426-1533, or a question for myself, give us a call at same number, 706-426-1533. We're answering any and all questions. No question is off the table. Hawthorn, I heard something earlier in your introduction that you said you are in the management world.
Yep.
Management world.
Yep.
So I got a question. Again, this question comes. This is the third question I have on the sheet here, and I like to go in order. I don't like to jump around, but I like to go in order with these questions, so I make sure I'm doing right and I'm being obedient. So, third question is, based on the position that you have, and remember, Barbershop Talk Live, we like to jump around. I jump from A to Z and T to F. So, that being said, are you a leader or a boss?
Ooh.
Are you a leader or a boss? Now, remember, that's the third question now. That's question number 3. So, Barbershop Talk Live World want to know, are you a leader or a boss? And I know you're going to explain the difference of that also once you give us your answer.
So, my answer is I'm a boss man, but I'm not a boss. I consider myself a leader. I'll let other people define and make the depiction in regards of I'm a boss, but I'm a leader. I'm truly define everybody. You start talking about purpose and those things. And my direction may not be for everybody, but when I say that, I've figured out exactly what my lot and what my purpose in life is. And that is to build skill sets that sustain. That's the bottom line of it. I know how to do that well and build skill sets that sustain. I know how to empower others as well. And I know how to tell you that we're going to go to Atlanta, Georgia, 20 West, and I can get you there in 20 minutes. Just close your eyes and follow me, and I'm going to turn around. And I know because of how I empower those who I touch every day, I know how I touch and stroke and teach and push them, that I don't have to look behind me, that they're going to follow me and know that. That's leadership.
Okay.
Because of the belief in my direction and the vision.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question. That was a good answer. I like that. Barbershop Talk Live. Did you jot that down? Did you jot that down?
Freestyle, baby. Freestyle, straight freestyle.
So that brought me to my next question and also a thought. So based on your answer for as a leader and a boss, that's something that I put on Facebook every so often. I put on there what I call the word for the day. Okay. And a few days ago, I put on there the word for the day is that you want to keep people around you that'll make you leap. You want to have people in your company that'll make you leap. So do you have people in your company, in your area, in your surroundings that'll make you leap when you walk in the door?
Yes.
Or they just make you just like, ugh.
No.
So are you surrounded by leaping people?
I am. Now I'm surrounded by some leaping people, and I'm also surrounded by some people that lay down as well, dead weight. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute, now, you know they watching now. You didn't call a name.
I ain't calling names.
But people are.
That don't necessarily mean it's people in my building.
Okay.
So that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, snakes will come crawling. All the different kind of snakes and those things. So, for me, the appetite to be able to trust is slim and minimal to none. So for me, it's all about the output that you give as well. So the problem is everybody want to get in the car and have a steering wheel in some aspects. So for me, I'm not an engineering director. I'm not a computer scientist. I am who I am. I punch numbers in the calculator every day, and I try to stay in my box, in my lane. So I think for me, what I'm trying to surround myself with, I'm trying to build the next generation. I think that's where it is. I think when you in your 20s, it's sort of like when you figure out exactly what you want to do in life. You might change jobs a couple of times. 30s and 40s, in my opinion, when you start figuring out, you start, working your career, working the job, or a lifestyle, as I call it. 40s and 50s and beyond is when you start making the money. So I want to surround myself with people who believe in that mindset, who can challenge me. I'm not the most innovative. I got vision, but I ain't the most innovative and creative guy. Now I know how to outfit my wrist. I got you. To look like Skittles. I know how to do that. But so there's some other things that I'm not as innovative and creative in when it comes to that. So, shout out, to the staff. Shout out to those ones who want better, who want lifestyle. So I think the leapers, in my opinion, are the ones who want lifestyle. The lifestylers around me are the people that I want around me. I'm gonna let them lead. I'm gonna sit back and cross my legs.
So we all need some leapers in our.
We need some leapers and some lefters. We'll get to that as well. We need some lefters as well.
We need some lefters, leaping lefters.
Ooh, I like that.
We got some.
Steal it now.
You can have it.
Some L2s.
Some L2s.
Okay.
Leaping lefters, L2s.
Yeah. So I can put that on hashtag. I had or something.
Hashtag it. I just gave it to you.
You gotta get the first one.
I just gave it to you. So again, CSOA, I am enjoying this conversation thus far. Again, if you got a question for our special guest, Hawthorn Welcher Jr., please, ma'am, don't hesitate to put the question on the screen. Please don't hesitate to give us a call at 706-426-1533. Remember, this is a live show.
Yes, sir.
This is a live show. Now,
yes,
now let me ask this now. I don't know, but I know sometime I see you in church with a lady by your side.
Yeah.
Now, who's that lady?
Yeah. Yeah, she all right on some days.
She all right.
Yeah, she on some days.
Now I know who she is. But the barbershop title of the world don't know who she is.
So that's wifey. That's Chantinette. So she, shout out to her. Right now we're definitely going through some things family wise. So I'll tell you to pray for her and her family.
Okay.
So she's from Augusta, Richmond County too. Richmond County product. So Glen Hills. So she went to Glen Hills. But shout out to the Hill as well.
Spartans.
Yep. So we've been in the bond for 15 years. That's where we've been with that. She is a registered nurse, all in the same. And I think one of the greatest things about, her and the love and those things is just the support for things that I want to get done, understanding pretty much the demand for my time and those type things. So in that aspect, we're the total polar opposite, which I think it really works. And so, that unit has worked. It definitely has worked. So definitely shout out to Chantinette Welcher.
I can kind of piggyback off what you said because you are so demanding your time and they stretch you, all over the place in this. So you got to have a supportive cast to be able to understand that.
Yep.
When the phone call at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, you got to answer every other email and they want to know what, so that kind of, and it's kind of with myself because I'm here now, Barbershop Talk Live. And my wife want to know, all right, now what else you doing now? You doing, golly, man, when you going to come? So tomorrow is Barbershop Hymns and Praise.
Yes.
So it's almost like we're in the same boat because you got to have somebody that can understand, that support, and go in the trenches with you.
That's correct.
Because again, sometimes I come over with an idea, I say, babe, what you think about this? All right, run it. Come on, let's go. Because I don't know until I do it. I really don't. So you got to have that supporting cast to really, assure you that you ain't going off the deep end.
That's right.
So I understand what you're saying because somebody got to sometimes reel you in or let you go out so far. And all right, okay, and she's there with me, and I know she's there with you.
Yep, same thing.
So you got to have that. So
very blunt and forward.
Right. So I mean, I'm telling you, we got 32 years together.
Wow.
and 27 married.
Yeah,
So, and like I say, it's been some good days, been some bad days within every marriage. So I thank God for my wife. Hey, babe, I know you watching. Hey, shouts out. Again, she taking care of whatever she cooking, I'm going to eat it.
Save me a plate. Save me a plate.
Save him a plate,
Save
too.
me a
Wrap it
plate.
up in some foil. We get it when it get
I like white meat. I like white meat.
I'm a dog. She know I like the dog meat.
you like dog meat?
She know I like dog meat, so don't say him the white meat, baby. Give him the white meat. Listen, again, Barbershop Talk Live is live every Wednesday night. So again, if you got a question, you got any comment, don't forget we got some questions we want you to put out to our special guest. But for now, I want to give a special shout out to my good friend Felicia Lee right here in Augusta, Georgia, Central Avenue. She has a company called True Therapy. True Therapy is a mental company that specializes in your mental health, your mental well-being, and to make sure you are thinking straight, making the right decisions, and to doing right by yourself and by your family. So in the next few minutes, I want you to look onto the screen and watch this quick video of my good friend Felicia Lee company called True Therapy right here in Augusta, Georgia on Central Avenue. Again, this is True Therapy in Augusta, Georgia. Just look to the screen.
Life is full of challenges and struggles, but there's no reason you should have to face them alone. At True Therapy, we provide support and guidance to help you become the best version of yourself. As a mental health counseling center, we provide a full range of clinical behavioral health services to children, adolescents, adults, and families. Our experienced team of licensed counselors and psychiatrists work closely with patients to understand their situation and develop a personalized treatment plan with an emphasis on wellness and prevention. Whether you are struggling with mental illness, substance abuse, relationship and marital difficulties, or the daily stress and challenges of life, we're here to help you find a positive path forward, dedicated to making our services as convenient and accessible as possible. We offer treatment in office, by phone, or via telehealth. Find the help you need. Schedule an appointment at True Therapy today.
Again, Barbershop Talk Live. We are live here at Jay's Place Barbershop, 1927 Olive Road. I hope you enjoyed that quick slideshow with my good friend Felicia Lee talking about her company called True Therapy right here in the Central Avenue. You get a chance, go by her, talk to her, understand what she does for you and your family and your mental well-being and your mental health. Again, Felicia Lee with True Therapy right here in Augusta, Georgia. Look her up, get in contact with her, and go to the website, truetherapy.com. You would not be disappointed. Tell her John Milton from Jay's Place Barbershop Talk Live say, come see me. Also, Hawthorn, I'm enjoying this conversation thus far.
Me too.
I'm telling
Me too.
you.
I feel at home.
You feel at home?
Yeah, I feel at home.
Well,
bro.
that's where you're supposed to be, because when you come to the barbershop, you just chill out.
That's it.
Just chill,
That's it.
relax.
I feel at home.
Talk a little noise, talk a little politics, talk a little sports.
That's it.
And we're just going to have some fun.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we are now. We're doing good. I'm enjoying it. So again, CSRA Barbershop Talk Live. If you're doing this conversation, you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. So again, now I got a question, and I hate to just make up questions. I got to refer back to my cue card. And as you see, question 6.
Well, some heavy questions on here. Yeah.
I'm not making this stuff up.
I'm scared of that one.
You want 6 or 7?
I'm scared of 6. Let's go to 7.
We'll go to 7. Okay, we'll go to question 7. CSRA Barbershop Talk Live. He said question 7. Question 7 is something that's going on right here in the CSRA. And I think we started this a couple days ago. And I had a chance to just sneak in and get a little ear time and a little face time to show my face. But I want you to, tell me and the CSRA Barbershop Talk Live world, what is going on. And when I say what's going on, I'm referring to the Land Bank Conference that's going on.
Yeah.
So some of this stuff is it sounds like a big word. When they say land bank, it sounds like, I don't know. So for the ones that kind of thinking like I'm thinking, we just want to know, what is the land bank?
So, so basically the land bank, so shout out, first to Chairman Chris Johnson and Executive Director, Sean Edwards and Lisa Williams, of course, who's on the staff. The land bank is one of those tools when you start talking about community economic development and you start talking about transforming neighborhoods into thriving community, the land bank is pretty much it is what it says. The official name is the Augusta, Georgia Land Bank Authority. So in that instance, they have their own board. They pretty much set their own policies. Now, they are a deterrent, not a deterrent, but they're actually a subsidiary of the city, but they're actually their own board, their own authority. So land banks, for the most part, you're able to, a city, so an organization like myself, we're able to acquire property, and then we put it in the land bank as opposed to putting it in the name of the city. So that way, if you walk on it and, it's a stump or something, and you fall and you hurt yourself, you don't necessarily sue the city, but it's a third-party organization that is a standalone of the city. So we're able to actually bank property. And actually, we keep the property in the land bank, even our rental units. We just keep them in the name of the land bank as opposed to the name of the city. So it kind of protects the city, in a lot of different ways. And then, our land bank, of course, is very aggressive. Our land bank is looking more to develop and recruit a lot of developers. Of course, they got their conference going on. This is their third year having the conference. So they got the conference actually going on this week right here. Housing Community Development Department, we probably was one of their main clients. Well, we started acquiring property back in about 2008. So all the, to date, we probably have rather about 200 parcels of land that we keep in the land bank. They will forever stay in the land bank unless we transform through sale of persons buying houses. So that's shout out to the land bank. Thank them for being, one of their valid partners.
Okay. All right. So that being said, it got me to another thought I was saying about when I go to these different locations in the CSRA. Now, when I say location, I mean downtown, Rashburn Road, Washington Road. I go to all these different spots, and I see homeless people. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on in this city? Because again, I thank God for a roof over my head. Yeah. Thank God for a roof over my head. I mean, I'm blessed. I mean, but when I see the folks that's out here in the streets that's holding up signs, now we do know some of them don't have to be out there. Yeah. But you got the ones that's are out there. So that being said, what is Augusta doing? I don't know if it's coming from the housing authority. What is the city? What are they doing for the homeless problem? Because it seems like it's more and more out there every day. I don't know if they're taking shifts, but you see a lot of them out there.
Yes.
So what is the city doing to alleviate or to conquer this type of problem we see that I know here? And I know it's in other major cities, but it's definitely here.
So, I got to hold this with two hands on that one.
All right, I know that's a touchy one.
Heavy question.
That's touchy.
Take me back to Deborah Hunt. When Deborah Hunt used to pray and sing, man. Yeah. I ain't trying to deflect now. I'm going to come back to the question. I was trying to deflect for a minute, but no, I'm not going to deflect. But no, and also, so the first thing when you start talking about homelessness, you go to the Bible and talk about the poorest among us, and y'all would be like, we ain't doing that. But the federal government and the state have said that homelessness is a local problem. So let me just say, from a housing, let me put it into numbers. Since we're talking about numbers, let me give you some numbers, some rough numbers.
Give us some numbers.
From a city perspective, from a housing perspective, from a city department perspective, there are like 4 main HUD programs. So for the program that speaks and focuses on housing opportunity for persons with AIDS and services, we get a little over $1 million a year. When we start talking about programs for affordable housing, we get a little over $1 million a year. When we start talking about CDBG and programs that support the community, small business loans, and helping our seniors rehab, we get almost $2 million a year. But when it comes to homelessness, we get about $150,000. That's it.
What? Say that name again?
We get about $150,000 a year to provide homeless services and sheltering through partnership. So homelessness is one of those things that Augusta, Georgia has to get intentional about. And as I indicated, the state, the federal government, they're not helping. They say, hey, if it's important to you, then it needs to be important to you. So currently we have a homeless task force, but let me just say this, shout out to the team at Housing Community Development Department. Shout out to the Deputy Lewis. I definitely want to give special shout out to our support service division, Miss Jean Calloway, Candace Evans, and the whole team. That's really we got some special stuff coming. So let me just, I ain't gonna say I'm the boss, but I'm the leader, right?
You leaping. They making you leap.
So I can leap.
They making you leap.
So I can leap right now, right?
All right.
So I leapt. Is that a word, leapt?
We gonna make it a word.
I don't know.
We just made it a word live right
now. Can
now.
y'all tell us if that's a word or not?
We just made that a word live on Barbershop Talk.
Morehouse, man. I'd made up a word.
Okay.
But in all sincerity, There's some things that we're doing that we think we need to do in the short term, interim, and some things that we need to do in the long term. I can just say this. So I think in the short term, so the first thing, there are shelters. So there are legitimately 3 shelters right now that operate. Everybody pretty much knows, of course, there's Garden City Rescue, Augusta Rescue Mission, of course, and everybody knows about the Salvation Army. Then there's, Safe Homes and other things. But everybody knows about the Salvation Army. So I would tell anybody, if you see a person homeless and they feel like they don't have anywhere to go, send them to the shelters. That's what the shelters are for. Now, there's capacity at the shelter, and we can't stop there at the shelters, but I think one of the things that we got to do a better, when I say we, I'm talking about Housing and Community Development Department, in helping with our partnerships is helping them tell their stories. Because, we can put people in hotels, but if you take a person to a shelter, they're going to get some hot meals. They're going to be able to take showers. They'll be in a safe environment that's locked, so they don't have to worry about the peripheral. And there are other things, there are other support services that come along with it. What we're focused on is what we call rapidly rehousing and transitions a person's mental, so transitioning their mind to do an assessment and intake. What are they really into? Who is this person? Do they need medical help? Or is it just a situation where they are just in a situation where they don't have any housing? So a lot of people don't know this, but there are really 4 types of homelessness.
4?
Yeah, there are 4.
I didn't know that.
So you got transitional, episodic, chronic is what a lot of people know, people on the street. And then you have hidden. That's where somebody's sleeping on somebody's couch, so you wouldn't even really know that they're homeless. And episodic is somebody may be strung out on drugs, so they go out one day, then they come back, get straight, and go out. And transitional, maybe somebody going through a divorce or something like that, things like that. So there's a lot of education I think that needs to happen. So there's a homeless task force, but this is what I can tell you. I'm loving the challenge of being able to make an impact. One thing I did learn early on was the fact that don't get caught reading your own newspaper articles. Nobody cares about that $32 million deal that we did down there by the church. Nobody care about that no more. Nobody's getting ready to care about what we're going to do on the Immaculate Conception site, a $20 million deal called a Lennox. Nobody care about that. They want to talk about homelessness.
They'll get the folks up the streets.
So understanding that, I would just say we're looking to do a day shelter. So we're working pretty. The staff gonna kill me because here I am on live TV.
We're live on Barbershop Talk Live. You heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Pressure. Okay. Housing and Community Development Department. Pressure.
That's it.
Huh?
Making you leap.
I'm applying pressure.
Make them leap.
So a day shelter. That's something that we're working with our commission on. What does that mean? So when pretty much our people, as we call it, when they come out the shelter at 9 o'clock in the morning, there's nowhere for them to go. We all see them under the bridge. We see them by Salvation Army. But they still got to eat. They still need to be bathed. They still need some direction. So we're going to create this incubator to sort of do some intake with them and sort of feed and guide them along. But I think the biggest thing, they're going to kill me again. There's more pressure, John. Pressure.
Put the pressure on them.
Pressure.
Let's run it.
So we want to transition from a day shelter really to a homeless institute. And I'll just leave it like that. And we didn't want to use shelter. We wanted to use institute. The bottom line of it is we all need to be instituted for the better. And I think with that, we want to make holistic persons. We want everybody to be leaders in their own right. So that's the transition of where we're going when you start asking me as the Housing Community Development Director in the vein of homelessness. And these are the things that we're going to go and talk to our commission about between now over the next 6 months.
Okay. CSRA Barbershop Talk Live World, you heard it. Matter of fact, the P word, he gave you pressure. There's going to be some pressure applied to you, and especially you. So, again, if you want to be around here, make sure you can make him leap. We need leaping folks. But also, let me ask you this now, Hawthorn. For the ones that cannot apply the pressure that you're referring to, and the ones that want to be able to learn what you're talking about, and for the ones that don't know what you're talking about, how can you be more accessible to the people to understand what you just said? So, in other words, is there a direct line or direct? Some people say I got an open door policy. Sometimes they say that, but they don't really mean that because they say they're doing election time. I got an open door policy. So do you have an open door policy where you can just get folks to come in and address these issues that they have for us? The pressure that you're talking about, for the concern. So now, because sometimes when a person call these offices, press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and they might not get back with you. Leave a message, we'll get back with you in the next few minutes or next day. And so again, the question 8. I'm going to question 8.
I got it. Yep.
So this 8. So you want to know, are you, or how can you be more accessible to the people? Because again, it's kind of hard for folks to get their questions answered if they can't get in contact with you.
So this is what you can get no more personal than this. So my cell phone number is 7065. I got you.
Pressure.
I got you. Can't do that one. Definitely can't do that one.
Don't do it. Remember, we live.
But no, in all sincerity, so I'll jump to the homelessness piece. I want to touch on that, and then I'll tell you exactly how to get in contact with me. But so from a homelessness perspective, there's some ways that, because see, we want this to have, we want input from the citizen. You know, I'm all about the communication piece. I'm all about touching in and everybody. You know, this is our home. This is our haven. We've talked about that.
Right,
so
right.
if you have some opinions or some energy that you want to give in that homeless space, there are a couple things that you can do. One, you can become part of what we call our continuum of care. And that's where we have a conglomerate of different agencies, you know, that provide different services that may aid persons who are deemed homeless. And then we also have a homeless task force. Shout out Commissioner Jordan Johnson and Commissioner Dennis Williams, who started that homeless task force. You can become a part of that. So I would just tell you, you know, to call, you know, our main number, 706-821-1797, 706-821-1797, and ask for either manager Gene Calloway or supervisor Candace Evans in that space. And if you just want to see me, you just want to see Hawthorn Welcher, you want to come and just have a conversation with me about affordable housing, about abandonment and blight, about small business development, about emergency rental system, whatever the case may be, you can always call the main number that I just gave and just ask for Sharika Brightheart, who's my assistant.
Okay. Serious, I hope you jot that number down. Get in contact with him, stop by the office, just email, whatever you need to do to get your questions answered, get your concerns met. Again, Barbershop Talk Live is here for you, and I want you to be able to talk to these folks that come into the hot seat, because you are concerned, they are concerned. Again, Barbershop Talk Live is live. Again, now, Hawthorn, I got another question. And this just came off the dome. This wasn't on question 8.
All right, Lil Wayne. Come on, Lil Wayne. Come on, Lil Wayne.
Let me ask you now, there's been speculations right here in the Barbershop Talk. There's been speculation in Jay's Place Barbershop. There's been speculations on the streets. Because, you know, I told you earlier, the streets talk.
Yeah, I'm scared of the streets.
So sometimes the streets can get some information and be false information. So I want to get it kind of from the horse's mouth.
Okay.
So is some of these projects going to be tore down and built into better affordable houses? Are we looking at that the next 2-3 years or next month by Christmas time? And I'm referring to the one to my immediate right, which is over here.
Yeah.
Do we have that on the agenda?
Yeah, so what I shout out to the Housing Authority, shout out to my counterparts, Jake Oglesby, and Doug as well, and I would say yes.
Okay.
So I mean, you know, that I don't think that's any secret at this point. So they are working the right process to, you know, have it what we call demolished. And now keep in mind, so when you start talking about public housing or the projects, as we call them, you know, they've been among us since like 1934. And so what you first had back in the 30s leading up to the 70s, everybody remember Good Times.
I remember Good Times.
Good Times.
Right.
So that was about 30, 40 stories of what we call public housing, stacked on top of each other. Okay. And then you remember we went away from that to what we had at Sunset.
Right, the flat.
Scattered site.
Right.
Okay. So this is what this is now is it's just the innovation and creation. So it's not necessarily public housing, but now you're demolishing that scattered site. Now you're coming back with what is called 9% tax credit deals. Now, one of the beautiful things about if anything is demolished, and I think this has been a misnomer, but I want to definitely say this. So if anything is demolished and cleared, those persons, those tenants, they're protected.
They are protected.
They are protected because it's what is called they're displaced.
Okay.
So they immediately are in an emergent situation, and they go to the top of every list where the housing authority has to give them 3 options. Now, you remember Gilbert Manor, everybody said, I ain't getting into that. When they're talking about everybody was shipped out of South Augusta, I ain't getting into that. But by law, they have to be given 3 options. And one of those options is they can be actually relocated to other public housing that's available. And then also they're giving what is called emergent housing or Section 8 vouchers to be able to move wherever housing can be. So, for me, it's a lot of times putting, our people, our tenants in a better situation. But yeah, I think that's one that the housing authorities are looking at being next up the bat.
Okay, so now this is another question I had come to mind. That this not even on the paper. This not even on the cue card. So we're looking at those persons in the housing. They on a certain fixed income.
Yes.
So they might make whatever they make on the income every month, but the rent goes up. So if the rent goes up, but they're on a fixed amount, how is the city or the housing authority dealing with that? Because you got folks complaining about the mortgage, the rent, or whatever's going up, but I ain't making but a certain amount of money. So eventually I got to move out of there or go broke trying to pay it.
So, once again, we don't run from questions. We definitely don't run from questions.
Okay.
So, what I would say is, some of that may be true, not true, but public housing, you pay 30% of whatever you make. Section 8 is the same thing where you pay a percentage, or you pay 30% of whatever you make. So if the rent is $600 and you don't make zero, then you don't pay anything. The federal government covers the whole $600. Now, if the rent is still $600 and you make $500 a month, okay, so that landlord's gonna get two checks. They're gonna get one check for $150 from you because you're paying 30% of whatever you make, and then the other $450. The other $450 will actually come from the federal government through what we call Section 8 voucher. So now that's how it works. So now what you talking about, John? I don't know what.
That's barbershop talk loud world. That's just the word.
I'm just playing.
So let me ask this now. When the last few years the world dealt with something devastating. Yeah. We dealt with some stuff that we didn't see coming, and I'm referring to the pandemic. So when the pandemic pretty much covered the world and folks dying and everything, we didn't know what was going to happen the next day to the next day. So how did that pandemic affect the housing market, the housing authority, the vouchers, the whole nine? What was is that something that, again, we nobody saw it coming? So how did that whole pandemic affect the world, the housing market?
So I think what it did for the city, for Housing and Community Development Department, it showed that we were essential service. Because before that, when you start talking about essential service, you think about police, you think about the medical, you thinking about those things. But what it showed us was that we were truly a essential service. Why do I say that? I said that because we've got millions of dollars to be able to help those persons who are homeless. We had a hotel relief for the homeless program. I went through $2 million of putting persons who were homeless in a hotel for 90 days plus in about a year and a half, $2 million. And then we also got money to be able to help our small businesses by providing small business relief. Shout out to those businesses who have been in existence before COVID. We still have funding available, for that. And then also those tenants, people who were laid off on their jobs, we spent almost $10 to $12 million providing what we call emergency rental assistance as well. So that showed us being able to help tenants, being able to help the small business owners, as well as being able to help those persons who were homeless. Now what it showed me, John, was before COVID, I told you we only got $130,000 a year. So for COVID, we were able to get $2 million to help our homeless. So where does the $2 million come from now? So that's the problem. That's what Augusta needs to be talking about. And so, I'm glad to see that it's one of the 5 priorities that our commissioner and our mayor, that they really want to focus on. So I think it's our job as HCD is to press our commission to be sure that priority just doesn't, we don't need to dust it off. It needs to stay polished.
Stay positive. Okay, I seriously, I understand what he's saying. I hope you understand what he's saying. So get involved, stay involved, talk to your commissioners, talk to your leaders to make sure you understand what's going on with the city, which direction the city is going. And that being said, Hawthorn, where is the city going? When I say where's the city going, and I hate to go back to my question to my cue card, but the people want to know where's the city going. Now remember, I know, but the people want to know where's the city going. Now we always, if I was a politician, you know what I would say? We're going to improve South Augusta. We're going to take care of South Augusta. If I was a politician, that's what I would tell them. I say, South Augusta's on my list. South Augusta, South Augusta, South Augusta. So where's the city going when we talk about moving forward, talking about getting from the past, making new directions? Is the city really going to new direction, or are we just talking that old political talk?
I mean, I think we're going in a direction. I mean, I don't think that direction is cohesive yet in my mind. I mean, I think that there's still a lot of passion and a lot of infighting, but I can tell you where housing and community development is going. You know, we're going two places specifically, not pacifically, but specifically. And those two places that we're going, one is in that lane of homelessness, looking to eradicate that. I'm going to die trying on that.
You better.
I promise you. I ain't going away from that. And the second is the eradication of these food deserts to bring a couple community grocery stores. Right. So that's where we're coming.
That's
but we got we got a major announcement coming on that one.
The major announcement's coming.
Yeah. So I'm talking about community grocer to be sure that the food deserts in the areas that we're revitalizing. So let me be specific, because somebody will run out here today and say that Hawthorn said we bring a Kroger or I ain't say that. That's not what I said. But we're focused on the areas that we're actually revitalizing to be sure that they're community grocers for the little Miss Mabels of the world. Little Miss Mabels of the world on a fixed income. And they can't travel too far, so they have to be sure that there's adequate food and resources and produce within a certain vicinity. So those are the two areas where we're going. Homelessness eradication and being sure that we bring some produce, fresh produce, not just farmers market, but grocers to the areas that we're revitalizing. That's coming.
Now listen, I got the serious already. We are a live show, so right now I'm talking to my media guy, my behind the scenes guy that's making us look good. I want to beg and ask him for 10 more minutes. Can I get 10 more minutes, media guy? He said 10 more minutes. He just, because this conversation is going to the point where I want to make you understand, make you aware of what's happening, what's coming. So Hawthorn, you just said something that I think the people know. More desert areas will be alleviated. We're going to bring in different businesses. We're going to bring in different things to the community so they can see what the city is going in the right direction. Am I correct when I say that?
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. And I think, for me, everybody sees Laney Walker Bethlehem. Everybody talks about downtown. Downtown, in my opinion, is going to take care of itself. So that's not my focus. That's not our department's focus. Our department's focus is looking at those depressed areas. And, I can't save all of South Augusta, all of East Augusta, but what I can do is come into a defined area and sort of make it pretty much, your hot spot, or make it a midtown, a thriving midtown, to be sure that we're creating jobs, to be sure that we have these neighborhood grocery stores, to be sure we got adequate transportation, adequate housing for everybody that wants to live in these areas. So that's what Laney Walker Bell is, just a model.
Now, I hate to skip, but I'm going back to the first question on the thing. I didn't go to the first. So the first question was, what is your job? So
we never said what my job was.
We never said what your job. So I jumped all the way down to 8 and 7, and the first question said, what is your job? What did Hawthorn do?
So my job, I work for the city. A lot of people think I work for the Housing Authority, but I actually work for the city. The Housing Authority, for the most part, is focused on public housing Section 8. Anything outside of public housing Section 8, for the most part, is what our department does. City of Augusta receives about $5 million in federal funds on an annual basis, as they indicate to tackle affordable housing, small business development, help the homeless, help those persons with HIV and AIDS, to help our seniors in rehab. So for anything else outside of public housing in Section 8, for the most part, we're responsible for. So the money comes to Augusta Richmond County. Augusta Richmond County Mayor Commission allow for our department to oversee that money to create programs. First of all, they want to make sure we understand the rules and the regulations, and to create programs that are going to impact, the community and those type things. So, we got a staff of about 25, 30. Once again, shout out to Housing and Development Department, hashtag leaving things better, hashtag ACD changing lives. And I wouldn't trade my staff for anybody in the world.
I hope you had a piece of paper and write that stuff down, because a lot of information that he just gave you, I want to make sure that you understand how to get in contact with him. I want to make sure you know what he does, to make sure you know who he is and where all these decisions come from. So CSRA, stay informed. Keep watching Barbershop Talk Live. Keep watching Hawthorn Welcher. Keep doing what you're doing. If you want a question, give us a call at 706-426-1533. Again, Barbershop Talk Live is here for you. If you got a comment, if it's on your mind, let's talk about it. If it's on your mind, let's talk about it. Hawthorn, let me ask you this question. There's something else you got going on. It's something with the left hand, the right hand. Again, that was on my cue, but I'm going to throw that stuff away. But I heard something through the grapevine. You got something else going on about the left. Don't talk about the left, the right.
It's left hand, left hand. I'm left-handed. Left-handed, you see. Left-handed.
Left hand, what your right hand doing?
Yeah,
it's kind of like something like that.
Sometimes you got to hide them from each other. Okay. You know what I mean? But
okay. So what you got going on now?
So just a nonprofit. As I indicated, my job, I'm a community servant. That's bottom line. I'm just community service. So one of the things is want to be sure I stand in the gap of being sure that we provide social etiquette, business etiquette, dress right, for our young men and for our youth. And we're not in competition with any entity, but what we want to do is join forces. So it's called left hand principles. Save the son, save the city. That's the motto. If you save the son, then we potentially can save the city. And I indicated for me, just want to be sure that on all aspects, when our young men from middle school and high school, when they sort of step out and they step in whatever form, they understand exactly which fork and spoon from a formal dinner perspective, understanding formal dance, understanding exactly what semi-formal and formal means, and be able to, once you put it on, that your mouth sort of follows or your mouth leads as well. How to groom well, you can sort of speak to that. What the part in your head means, understand the right type of earrings to wear, the right type of socks. So all of these things are what, and it's a left hand, the actual logo is a left hand holding up the city from a community perspective, embraced by, not choked, but embraced by a bow tie, those things we really love to wear. So how to tie a tie, how to tie bow tie, how to tie ascot. And those things are very important to me. So we just want to hit and impact the community in a lot of different ways. So shout out to the team. Shout out to Candace Evans, Director of Operations there. Shout out, to Wifey on there and to just the whole Welcher team, Trevor Welcher, as well as other guys who are going to sort of put that forward in a different way. And that's one of the problems that we have when you just want to be a brand. I want to be a brand. I want to be a model, because one of the issues is you can do more than one thing. And that's one of the things that I want to be a pioneer for, showing young men how to brand themselves the right way and stand in the stead.
Okay. Seriously, again, I hope you're jotting this stuff down, because, again, left hand principles. Again, not let your left hand know what your right hand do. We ain't talking about that. But left hand principles to understand what you need to know as a young kid, young guy, young woman growing up to be able to function in this CSOA, function in the world, and also for your generation. So I encourage you to stay in contact, stay motivated, keep the pressure on. Now listen, before we go any further, I know I see almost every Sunday you either at the game or you glued to the set. You either at the game or and sometimes you go to the Georgia games or you at the Falcons game. Right. So you a dirty bird in the Bulldog.
I'm a down south Georgia boy.
You just old down south Georgia.
Down south Georgia boy.
There you go.
Any and everything.
So that being said, CSOA Barbershop Talk Live World, I noticed you always red.
That's it.
Red is your color.
That's me.
Red
yes,
is your color. And I hate to throw the symbol up, but you know how to do the symbol. There you go. Red is his color.
Got
it.
That's it.
You know what that means, CSOA. But listen, when I see you wearing red, I mean, you everywhere. You, your family, everybody's in the red. So that being said, you see what they do on Sunday. Sometimes them guys get out there on the football field and they get to running around. And sometimes when the Falcons don't get their call that they want, guess what they do? You know what the Falcons do when they don't get the call that they want? They think the referee made a bad call. They give a challenge.
Yeah.
I have a challenge flag for you. CSRA Barbershop Talk Live World, we have a challenge for Hawthorn Welcher. So again, I'm believing in challenges. I love a challenge. You love a challenge?
I love a challenge.
You love a challenge. So this is what we're going to do. This is Barbershop Talk Live World. What we do, we give that guest a challenge. Because again, at the beginning of this conversation, you said a whole lot. You gave us a whole lot. You even gave us some numbers to call, some people to talk to. You gave us all of that. So now, Barbershop Talk Live World, I got to challenge you. Yeah. So the way this thing works, when this flag hit the flow, that's when the challenge has to be met. Okay. You ready for the challenge?
I'm ready.
All right, CSRA Barbershop Talk Live World, here's the challenge. The challenge just hit the flow. So Hawthorn, we are challenging you to continue making sure this city is on the right path to moving forward. We are challenging you to make sure that CSOA, that the homeless situation will be accomplished, the homeless situation will be alleviated. So we don't talk about the other cities. We challenge you to make sure the CSOA, Richmond County, will take care of the homeless problem in this area. We also challenge you to make sure that when you are on the agenda, make sure you are on to the point where people can call you. Make sure you are more accessible. So your challenge is to make sure that people know that that you got their back. Your challenge is to make sure that whatever going on in the CSOA dealing with the housing, the people can be assured that you are taking care of their needs and at all costs. That's your challenge. You think you can handle that challenge? CSOA, before hold up now. I got another challenge that just came to me. Your challenge is you continue to make sure that your family is met. The needs of your family is being met before any other thing, because you said earlier that your wife family is going through some stuff. So continue to be there for the family. That's a challenge I think you got to uphold. So Barbershop Talk Live World, he's been challenged. Now Hawthorn, can you meet those challenges again? We need you to take care of the CSOA citizens, the homeless situation, the people that need to be fed, clothed, whatever. Continue to do it. And also, your challenge is the co-workers. You need people around you that's going to keep on leaping. Make sure you keep the right people in your circle that are going to make you leap. That's your challenge. Now we want to know, is that challenge meetable?
I accept 1, 2, and 3. The Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, the Trinity.
Okay.
Is accepted.
Okay. All right. That's your challenge.
Yes, sir.
That's your challenge. Now, CSOA Barbershop Talk Live World, he's been challenged. He has been challenged. Now you're going to be challenged. We're going to challenge you, CSOA Barbershop Talk Live World. We're going to challenge you. And if you paid attention to this conversation, which I hope you did, it was a great conversation, we have a prize for you. We have a gift card from Academy Sports. We have a gift card from Academy Sports, CSOA Barbershop Talk Live World. If you paid attention to this conversation, this gift card belongs to you. But then listen, the only way you get it, you have to answer the question. There's two simple questions. I'm going to let you hold this gift card. Barbershop Talk Live World, if you paid attention to the conversation, I got 2 simple questions. If you get the question right, put the question on the screen, or you can give us a call at 706-426-1533. There's a gift card. If you get 2 questions right, the gift card belongs to you. You ready? First question is always a simple question. Ready for this first question? It's always a simple question. The first question is, how many years has he been married? If you paid attention to the conversation, he said it during the conversation. If you paid attention to the conversation, that's the first question. How many years has he been married? Matter of fact, let's put a little tag on that. Can I put a tag on it? I'm going to put a tag on the first question again. How long has he been married? And we're going to tag it with what is his wife's name? That's still part 1 of the question. That's still first question. What is his wife's name? How many years have they been married? Again, Barbershop Talk Live World, you paid attention to the conversation. The second question is, easy question, what college did he go to? Did you get the question right? Put it on the screen or give us a call at 706-426-1533. Academy Sports, $25 gift cards waiting on you. What school did he graduate from? And how many years has he been married? And what is his wife's name? 2 simple questions. If you got the question right, put the question on the screen, and we got it waiting on you. Also, don't forget, next week, right here in this hot seat, special guest next week, Godfrey Jackson. Godfrey Jackson, we right here in this hot seat. Who is Godfrey Jackson? Alkaline Health Water for you right here on 2347 Tobacco Road. I'm thinking the correct address. Alkaline Water. Again, Godfrey Jackson, we're right here in this hot seat. So CSOA Barbershop Talk Live. If it's on your mind, let's talk about it. If you got a special guest you want to see in the hot seat, put it on the screen, or you can inbox me. We'll make sure we do our best to get that guest right here in the hot seat. Again, you want to be a sponsor, inbox me, Barbershop Talk Live. You want to be a supporter, you can also inbox me. We'll be glad to support you. We'll be glad to talk about your event or your product. Again, Barbershop Talk Live is live each and every Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Tune in. Don't forget, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, Barbershop Hymns and Praise. Again, we talking about some of them old hymns. Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know or charge to keep. Again, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, right here in this hot seat, we're going to sing some of them old hymns, and we're going to pray for you. So tune in tomorrow. Hawthorn, you good?
I'm good. So, but right before we leave, though,
okay.
I want to leave you with a little momentous.
Okay. Okay.
We want to spread the word. We want to stop as we want you to continue being a community servant.
Okay.
On a profession of your faith.
All right.
And on a profession of how you uphold this community, we want to actually give you and parade you with a left-hand principle hoodie with the left hand holding up the community embraced by a bow tie.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Of course, it's
I like it. It's red. And it's red. CSOA Barbershop Talk Live. It's red. So I accept the challenge. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Listen.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed it. So CSOA, again, you is there another website or phone number you want to get information to? If they want to get in contact with you anyway, your office or anything?
I would tell them just, go to social media. You can follow me on social media right now, and then we'll pretty much have the links that come off that. So, of course, Hawk Gon' Fly Instagram. Then we also want to go to Hawthorn Welcher Facebook as well.
All right, and again, CSOA, do not forget about the land bank information. If you got any questions on that, also go by the office or go to the website. You can get all the information you need to know about the land bank right here in the CSOA. Also, for some of the properties that are available, where they're available at, Get your money right. We'll be glad to get your money. Don't let the money get away from you. Do right by your money. The old folks say, pay your tithes.
First and foremost.
That old folks say, God will bless you.
That's it.
God will bless you.
All the time.
And he said, test me and see.
That's it.
So it's serious already. I enjoyed the conversation. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Keep tuning in to Barbershop Talk Live. Remember, if it's on your mind, let's talk about it. If it's on your mind, let's talk about it. Hawthorn, I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
All right, listen
great.
again. Next week, our special guest in the hot seat, Garfield Jackson, alkaline water, health water for you. So tune in. Listen, Hawthorn, do what I do. You gonna do what I do?
Do what you do.
Do what I do. You ready? Look at that camera and say, love ya.
Love ya.
See you later. We're out of here. See you next week on Barbershop Talk Live.
And now, we're live. Yes, live from James Place. And we're talking Barbershop Talk. Yes, Barbershop Talk, where nothing is off limits, everything's on the table.
Everything's on the table.
Barbershop Talk.
Come on, everybody. We're here at James Place.
Barbershop.
We're talking barbershop talk.
Barbershop Talk.
Barbershop talk.
At James Place.
Barbershop talk. Where nothing's off limits.
Barbershop Talk.
Barbershop talk.
Barbershop Talk.
Barbershop talk.
Barbershop Talk.
Barbershop talk.
At James Place. Barbershop Talk.
Everything's on the table.